beforehand, and I almost left because I was like, well, I don't know where she is. And Michelle actually came to me and she said hi and she found a chair for me and decided to stay because I was like, okay, it's kind of rude to say no and just I didn't know that starting then I would be so involved with this wonderful family that is InterVarsity. I went to a conference that sophomore year, and I met Elise, and she's been my mentor for 3 years now since then. And during that retreat, I learned that Jesus really loves me, and it doesn't matter what I did in freshman year, in my life before that, how guilty I felt for leaving my family, how guilty I felt for leaving friends, and how guilty I felt for doing a lot of things that I shouldn't have done. He didn't care about that. He cared that I tried, that I was listening to him then, and he wasn't going to leave me. I was afraid. I felt left alone in a new country, in a place where I didn't know many people. I felt out of place, and he brought me to this family, and everyone showed me that I fit in here. Everybody tried to listen to what I had to say, and everybody knew that something was missing, and we started an international student ministry. And now we have a bunch of international students here, and everybody feels welcome because it's a family. And if you're out there and this is your first time here, or your second time, or if you feel like, I don't know if this is the place for me, I would say give it a try, because this is a great family, and God is here, and He's listening to you. He knows what's going through your heart, so talk to Him. He will answer your prayers, and He will answer all the questions that you have. And I assure you that there are people in this room sitting right now that are going to listen to you and are going to do the best to be your family in River Falls.
Okay, hi. The order thing was weird. So, like I said, I'm Michaela, and I wrote out what I was going to say because I was sitting at the desk this afternoon. I know some of you guys saw me. And I was thinking, and I was like, crap, I got to do this tonight. Like, I don't know what I'm going to say. There's so many things that I could say, and the 3 minutes that I get is not enough time to capture all of it. So I just kind of sat down and I just wrote out just really what was on my heart and what I think really kind of sums up what InterVarsity has been to me for the past 3 years that I've been involved. It's really honest, it's really raw, and it just kind of came out. I hope it's meaningful, and I'm just going to read it because I also didn't want to spend all afternoon freaking out trying to memorize it and do it extemporaneously. So I'm just going to read it. So I first came to InterVarsity in October of 2010. And when I walked in, I came in carrying a lot of things with me. I had failed out of school after freshman year, but had managed to appeal my academic suspension over the summer and was on my last chance to get the right grades to stay in school. My entire future was riding on that one semester, and I was so terrified that I wasn't going to make the right grades and fail out again and have to go to a community college and not know what I was going to do with my life. I had, 8 months previously, lost my virginity to a guy who didn't love me, used me, and never called me back. I believed that I would never be loved for who I was, only for what I could offer. I had no sense of self-worth and tried to take control of my sexuality by attracting attention from men through my physical appearance. I was also still battling a depression that had taken over my life since my senior year of high school and was trying to find the right medication to help me enjoy my life again. I wasn't interested in God. I thought that Christianity was a total joke. The only reason why I even came to InterVarsity was because I had a crush on the guy who invited me, and it was a good excuse to spend time with him. I literally had no intention of ever coming back. But despite all of those things I was holding with me as I sat here in the Falcon's Nest that day, God still introduced Himself to me. I left large group that night with something stirring in the deepest part of my soul, and 10 months later, at the end of August 2011, I accepted Christ. Since then, I have led community groups, gone to cross trainings and chapter focus weeks, spent 7 weeks in Kenya on a global project, went to Urbana 12, served as chapter president last year, have preached twice at large group, which honestly is something I never thought I would ever do, and have met some of my best friends, including an amazing godly man who loves me profoundly for who I am as a daughter of the King and will become my husband in less than 5 months. And I don't take credit for any of those things. None of my successes or experiences have ever come from anything that I have done. All of those things, including my salvation, are gifts from the Lord, who has blessed me abundantly even though I don't deserve it, and I'm so thankful for that. So here's my advice for everyone here tonight. Be all in. Seriously. God is going all in with you. He loves you and wants to give you His best. Be open to what his best might be and chase after the life God has waiting for you. College is a time full of incredible opportunities and experiences. Let God take you on a wild adventure that you never could have dreamed of. The verse that I've chosen to represent me tonight is the first verse that I learned after becoming a Christian. It says, "Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." We don't get to decide when we want to be fearless. Fearlessness is a command, an order. Obedience to God means that we are not afraid of our circumstances or what may happen. Instead, we trust and know that God is leading us and will protect us and guide us in all things, and that any fears we have are not worth choosing over God's purpose for us. So don't hold your back from God's amazing plan for you. Instead, do. Be all in and make him and this awesome community that he has provided a priority. InterVarsity is an incredible, special gift that is too precious to take for granted. So introduce yourself. Go to Guy or Girls Time, even though that friend you were going to go with backed out on you in the last minute. Read the Bible often and study what it says. Sign up for that trip that will challenge you and help you grow deeper in your understanding of God. Go to the Roundtable on Fridays and ask your questions. Get involved in a small group and meet some people who could end up being some of your best friends for life. Talk to your atheist friend about how God has changed you. Hold tight to the truth. Love everyone you meet and let Christ shine through you. Pray with your friends. Worship with your friends. Change the world. Live boldly and unashamedly for the gospel of Jesus, knowing that we have absolutely nothing to fear. It'll be messy, and it won't always be fun, but God promises to be with us wherever we go, and I know that he always keeps his promises. If God could take a broken girl like me and use me to do amazing things, I can't even imagine how much he can and will accomplish with all of you. So be all in and fall in love with being surprised by God, your creator, who loves you more than you know. Thank you.
Wing it a little bit, just to make it more natural, but I wanted this to hit home because it's probably my last time speaking here, so just to make sure my words are as powerful as I want them to be. So here it goes, it's story time. I came to college with my own plans and desires about what I was going to major in and what I was going to pursue in terms of career and what my friends were going to look like and what my hangout times were going to look like and all this stuff. And I was like set to go. I was like, all right, let's do this. I got my own plans. And although one thing that seemed to be missing from all of those plans was God. I pushed him completely aside, and he was not in the picture at all. My Christian faith no longer seemed to be a necessity for me to complete my goals of having fun in college and pursuing the career I wanted and the major I wanted and all that stuff. So as a result of that choice, I had a very unrewarding, unfulfilling, and pretty much just depressing few years of college. And it was really tough. I told myself I was on the right track because I had everything was going according to plan. I was in the classes I wanted to be in, and I was doing the things I wanted to do, even though it just was, like I said, not fulfilling at all. And I hit an all-time low, and God finally broke down those walls that I put up against him and shattered the plans that I had made for myself, my career plans and all that kind of stuff, just like gone. And that sounds kind of brutal, like, God, why would you do that? But actually it was very freeing. It was an awesome time in my life. And I no longer had the desires that I did before. And like I said, I didn't want to pursue the things I was living for before. And then that was all a God thing completely. And I found myself more or less without a direction because I was like following my own plans, and then God got rid of those, and I was like, all right, what do I do now? And I remember praying something along the lines of like, okay, God, I don't know what to do. Please help me at this time in my life. What do I want to live for? What do you want me to live for? And how do I start? And immediately, a thought popped into my head and was like, go to InterVarsity. I was like, sweet, sounds good, I'll do that. Like, perfect. Answer to prayer, like right there. And the next day I went to my first, I think it was my first IB meeting. I had known about InterVarsity, but never really had given it any of my time. So I came to a large group, not knowing really anyone, a few people, but I stuck with it and began meeting more people. And since then, that was only about a year and a half ago, but since then God has used our large group meetings and our worship time and our Bible study time and discipleship and roundtable with Brian, all these things for building up my relationship with him, strengthening my faith in him, and it's been just incredible. I've also met some of the best friends in my life actually here. So quickly. And I spent a ton of time trying to come up with the right words tonight as to how grateful I am for InterVarsity and for people I've met here, but it just didn't work out so well. So I just can't describe how much this time has meant to me and how thankful I am that God led me here last year. And I do fully believe that I would not have ever come here and would not be speaking here tonight if it weren't for God's plan and His desire for me to give up my own plans that were getting me nowhere. So I want to encourage everyone, if you're dealing with something similar to what I did and you don't want to relinquish control of your plans or the path you want to go on, I guess, if you don't want to relinquish them to God, or if you have a feeling tonight that He deserves your everything and He deserves your plans and He has better plans for you than you could ever imagine, then I just would encourage you to press into that and surrender to Him, because just in my experience and in this, what I've heard from many other of my friends here, it just is worth it. It's not just, it won't disappoint you. And if you need a place where you can freely exercise your faith and grow in community with other Christians, I encourage you to do it here. I mean, I had, like I said, just an amazing experience and amazing growth of faith in just a really short amount of time because of InterVarsity. And I've been blessed through this organization incredibly. I've seen how it's impacted my fellow students, and it's been awesome to be a part of it. So I want to thank the staff, Brian, Michelle, and Elise. You guys are great friends to me. And all my other friends and brothers and sisters in Christ who have made this time so amazing. I want to thank you also. So, thank you very much.